We love the idea of carving stories out of real life. We were looking for a story to tell around the challenges that supply chain officers face. The real universal truth around it became you cannot control what you can't see. We tested concepts in market, and we went to ripple effect because against our audience, and that's the one that they felt resonated the most. We set out to tell a story that had relevance, but could also have implications for issues that you see in supply chains. Working with the New York Times and with Ogilvy, we picked a story around the 2010 Icelandic volcano eruption. That story wouldn't have been enough. It didn't feel fresh. We discovered that a scientist had just come out this year as saying that 4 of these volcanoes were set to explode at any moment. That really was the driving force behind the urgency to make sure that supply chain officers have all the information they need to act when anything occurs.
In my lifetime, I've experienced many eruptions, but none like this one. I was asked about Iceland and I Googled it. It said, a small island in the stormiest part of the North Atlantic. I think that very well describes Iceland.
It's very hard in strong weathers and strong winds, but I think all days are very good at sea.
The most frequent disruption of supply chains is weather. The seafood industry is by far Iceland's largest industry. It's vibrant and healthy, but inherently unstable.
There are so many exciting things about cargo. For a remote island like Iceland, cargo is extremely important. I'm supplying fresh fish to many parts of the world. In order to have it really fresh, time is very, very important.
So this is Eyjafjallajökull. The summit eruption started there. Half of the ash fell down in Iceland. The other half was blown south of the volcano. This is the one causing all the chaos.
When the airspaces started closing, we realized we needed to do something.
We couldn't fly the fish into Europe and the United States to ship the fish. It takes 5 or 6 days with ships. It would take 5 or 6 hours with a plane.
Yeah, it was a very difficult period. There is no really other international airport in Iceland. At this point, we figured out that we could use a domestic airport in northern Iceland to set it all up and keep Iceland open. This was the biggest problem we had to face.
After a whole month of a situation like this, people were done. They were frightened.
The seafood industry obviously have to have a resilient supply line that includes Plan B and even sometimes Plan C and D. You never know what nature is going to throw at you next.
The biggest thing about any grant or any new idea is to have the data and the rationale behind why you're making a choice, and then make as bold a choice as possible. You can always pivot where needed, but when you have that belief, anything's possible.